Okay, in this short video, I'm going to discuss how to add a line of best fit to your scatter plot if you've created a scatter plot with technology. So first, I'm going to show you on Google Sheets, and then we'll do Desmos after. So this is the same uniform motion graph that we started in Unit 3, Activity 2. I'm going to double click to load up my chart editor. I'm going to go click Customize, and I'm going to go down and select Series. And I'm going to tick off the trend line box, and that's going to insert. You see a light blue line of best fit. Make sure that your trend line type is linear. We're using linear trend lines in this course. That's going to give us a line of best fit. So your trend line type should be linear. Otherwise, we're not going to get a line, or we're going to get a curve, which in this case doesn't fit the data quite as well. We're going to use linear trend lines. Another word for that is just your line of best fit. So that's all you have to do to create the line of best fit. Again, Google Sheets is generating that line for you, and you can tell once we draw this line that I have a strong positive correlation. The correlation is strong because all of the data points are clustered or very close to the line of best fit, and we know it's a positive correlation because the variables increase together. In other words, the line goes up as we move from left to right. If you want, you can add a label. You can add an equation for this line. So there's the line's equation up there. And you can also show the r squared, which again is very, very close to 1. So the higher up that r and r squared is, the closer it is to 1, and 0.99 is very close. That means the stronger the correlation is between our two variables. So that's all you need to do in Google Sheets to make a trend line or a line of best fit. You open the chart editor, go to Customize, Series, and then tick off Trend Line. We'll also show it in Desmos. So first, if we click the 3 lines on the top left, you can load graphs that you've worked on before. So I'm going to open our uniform motion graph that we made in the previous activity. So here's our scatter plot. If I click the plus on the top left, I can add an item. We're going to add an expression. And if you notice that my two variables, Desmos is calling them x1 and y1. The ones below the letter, we call those subscripts. They're just labels. If we added another set of data onto the same graph, they might be x2 and y2. So our labels are x1 and y1. So I'm going to write an equation. I'm going to say y1. And then instead of equals, I'm going to use the tilde button, which on my laptop, I click shift and then the button to the left of 1. Tilde is going to tell Desmos to generate or create its own line that will best fit this data. And I'm going to type mx1 plus b, and I'll post that equation onto our Brightspace as well. y1 equals mx1 plus b. We're going to talk a lot more about what m and b represent in this equation in the next unit. But for now, you need to punch that in, and it's going to make our trend line. And again, because the r is very close to 1, it's a strong correlation, which we already knew because, again, we see the points very tightly clustered around our line. If you look at these parameters, m is what we call the slope of the line. We'll talk about this more in future lessons, but that's telling us the rate of change. So if m is 39.8, that means for every 1 second that goes by, we move around 39.8 meters. And b is our starting point on the y-axis. So we'll talk more about m and b in future lessons. But for now, that's how you plot a line of best fit on both Google Sheets and Desmos. And then again, I can save my graph because we're going to do a little bit more work on this before we hand it in during your next activity, U3A4. So that's all for now. And let me know if you have any questions. Okay, bye for now.